Computer, it has two main parts, or you can say two main pillars. One is hardware, the other one is a software. So a computer system or a computing device consists of two main parts, hardware and the software. The physical part or the tangible part which you can see and touch is hardware, like this monitor. Hard means it has to be, the meaning is very clear, hard. So you are able to touch it, feel it. So the machinery of a computer, it can have, say, keyboard, a monitor, CPU, RAM, ROM, the motherboard. All these are hardware. Now, what is the second pillar of any computing device? Is a software. So software, we cannot see it. It is intangible. But basically, these are instructions written in certain programming language. And now these instructions instruct the computer or the computing device to do what? For example, we write code in C, C++, Java, Python. We are not able to see it. We can just feel it, the result that, okay, A plus B we have written. We are getting the result of addition. This is the instruction. So Windows 8 can only be seen. It cannot be, it can be felt, but cannot be touched. So this operating system is a software, is the basic software, which will make the hardware work the way we intend to do it. We have certain instruction on the basis of which the hardware is going to run. See this monitor. This is a physical device. So whenever we start a program, for example, a game, it will be displayed on the monitor. It will show you text, it will show you images, it can show you videos and whatnot. So hardware is dormant without software. Software is the life, is the key, is the brain, everything for a hardware. Because without software, hardware has no meaning. It will run only because we have certain software, code written. There are certain programs also, there are certain coding which is done in your hardware only, that are called hardwired program. For example, BIOS, for example, POST. BIOS is basic input output system. Before, when you push your button of on your computer or computing device, the BIOS will run. And that is, if you see, your computer will have a HP or a Lenovo coming. How does it is coming when the operating system is still not being handed over the control. This is through BIOS, and this is already hardwired. These are hardwired. POST, power on self-test. BIOS. So this is BIOS and POST are hardwired program. Basically, they are software only, but they are hardwired. So these are the example of certain software in which we can do various daily activities like making presentation, like some typing activities, some gaming, or various other things like say social media, browsers. So mobile devices like our smartphones and tablets, these are all coming under this computer system only because they also have a hardware and a software. And all depends on this form factor. Form factor is the size. For example, you have 5-inch, 4-inch, 3-inch. So these comes at a mobile. If it goes up to 10-inch screen, then it becomes a tablet. The screen I'm talking about is always computed diagonally, the size. If it goes up to 14, 15, then it becomes say a computer, personal computer, or a laptop. 30-inch, it may be a workstation. So we have hardware also and software also here. This is the smallest form factor. The higher one is this one, and the more higher one this one. There are others also which we are not talking about. We are just talking about what we should discuss now, because they are mainframes, they are workstations, there are servers, they are supercomputers. So there are so many computing devices, and they all have hardware and software. All are having different form factors. So software plus hardware. This hardware have electronic devices. Software are the instruct the hardware devices to do certain thing. For example, the processor. The processor is the main processing unit inside this. So operating system is the key software. There are softwares, so key software is operating system. For example, in your house, your mother is earning, so she is the operating system. Your father is earning and he is taking care of every one of you. He is the operating system of your house. That is, all the software like you, me, and you, your sister, all are dependent on your operating system. Operating system is also your father is making home, your mother is making home, buying home and making food, everything operating system is doing. So your father, mother can be, you can understand like this. So when the system will, you'll switch it on, it will check all the hardware parts whether they are running successfully or not. Means they have to be in a working condition. So once this is done, this is called BIOS. So we have hardwired program already in ROM, read-only memory. So when the initial BIOS or POST, power on self test is done, now the control is given to operating system. Now the computing system will be dealt or will be handled by operating system. Before that we have BIOS, which is already done by the hardware, but after that now it is all by operating system. So operating system we have on laptops and desktops like Ubuntu, Microsoft Windows, Mac OS. Ubuntu is basically a Linux version, Linux. Mobile devices, computing devices, they also have operating system now. We have Google Android. Now every Samsung mobile has an Android operating system. Apple has iOS operating system. So these are different operating systems which are running the hardware. So all computer application like the browser, games, office tools, these are all software programs. As I said, operating system is also a software, but is the biggest software. And operating system is an interface between your hardware and software. So whatever you do today, either on any computing devices, these are mere applications or software which are running on certain operating system and which are on the background holding, or you can say controlling the hardware to give you output. So these are different operating systems which I wanted to show you: iOS, Android, Windows, we have, and BlackBerry. So operating system is basically a very big software which is controlling the different software which are installed on it, and also different hardware which are there in that computing devices. So again, let me tell you, operating system is an interface between hardware and software. It by itself it is a software, though operating system are generally written in assembly language.